with the box. Who's in the box? What's in the box?
All right, how is everybody doing today? My name is Bob. This is Bob's Basement Toy Blog on Total Toy Recon. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. We've been posting every day of these basement blogs, Monday through Friday, and we're posting some more reviews. The toy industry seems to be moving back into some sort of process again. I've got items coming from Playmobil. I just got a Mondo He-Man Masters of the Universe release. The Playmobil's on its way, but we're going to do the He-Man Masters of the Universe Mondo figure on Masters of the Universe Day, which is next Tuesday, the 28th, Masters of the Universe Day. We are going to open up Castle Grayskull, which is right here. There are figures inside. I have not touched it since I found it. We also have a drawer here of Masters of the Universe figures, so we are going to talk about those as well. As you can see, we are in a very different space now. We may be down to the last 4 tubs. We have one here, we have one underneath it, and then we have 2 more over there. There are 2 more. I'm sure there's more classic toys in that process. What you can't see this way is that the toy explosion has happened, and there are items everywhere. So I am slowly finding things left and right. Like I found the instructions to the Trade Federation MTTs, the Mobile Troop Transport. I also found the Obi-Wan Kenobi that came with it. So, ooh, I didn't realize the saber was out of the plastic. So we're finding little things like that left and right. You know, we are trying to put things back together. That's part of this process, is that I'm unboxing what's in my basement. We are finding toys like, how many of the Indiana Jones figures do we have, and now they have to all be together. So we are finding lots of the indie figures left and right, almost on a daily basis. And now, you know, we have the NECA figures. Do I want to keep the NECA Predator? Do I want to get rid of him, put him up for trade, turn him into a toy dealer? He's only a couple years old, but I like the figure, so I would hold on to it. So if you're just catching us for the first time, you're not aware, we do repost pictures, close-ups of all the toys, the majority of the toys, on our Instagram, which is Total Toy Recon on Instagram. Just all one word. So, give a shout out to my friend Dave and Jean who are watching today. They are our regular watchers. We had some Star Trek stuff. They're big Trekkie fans. I don't know what we're going to get today, but let's get to it. So, alright, so let's start off with, so we do have a pop. And the more of the pops that I tried not to get into pop as much. However, there are times where you have to have Robin Hood or King John or Sir Hiss as pops. So it's a tough thing because Funko finds the right niche, which is probably why they're so popular, to be able to give us more and more pops on a daily basis. Daily, yeah, that's right. Case in point, Captain Phasma. This was one of the items we got at my wife and I got it at the very first Modern Force Friday. Had to get something of Captain Phasma. She looks so cool, but it was a kind of a less is more character. And this is Doctor Who, the 4th Doctor, with the scarf. So this is the Tom Baker Doctor Who. You know, you have to have a Doctor Who. You got to get, you know, you got to get his pop. Now, this is a little bit rarer. This is a little bit odder piece, and we'll open this up. So, for those of you that don't know, Star Wars figures from time to time, this is a modern Force Awakens figure. The older figures would have stickers on the cards where you would mail off the proof of purchases on the back, like $3 for shipping, 6 of the proof of purchases, and then they would mail you a figure. Well, when Star Wars came back in 1995, they did it with a mail-away Han Solo, in Stormtrooper disguise. They did a Obi-Wan Kenobi, there's a ghost. They did it with potato chips. They did it on cereal boxes. And then eventually they got back to doing it with the figures. So, they release, and this is the actual box that it comes mailed into. That's my old address there on the back. So this is Qui-Gon and the EOP. Now, what is Qui-Gon and the EOP, you're saying? This figure was actually delayed, so it took a while to get it. I don't think it's actually in its own box. That's why I kept the box. It actually just comes like this. So this is the EOP and Qui-Gon. This is the animal he's riding in the Phantom Menace when he goes back to get Anakin Skywalker to free him. So, you know, little postcard that they give you, the whole bit, my name's on it, the address, but not, I mean, a cool creature to have, but not, like, it's not in a box. It's weird. It's not in a package. So, obviously, keeping all of these parts of the box and the case and everything is valuable, but this is something that you ordered like 3 or 4 of, and then you open one, you keep the rest in the box. Case in point, we have the rocket-firing Boba Fett. We have him in the box like this, never been opened. So this kind of means you kind of have to keep it. It's also interesting that they actually tell you what it is on the outside, because with Porch Pirates today, this doesn't fit in your mailbox. Somebody's going to, Star Wars, you take it. So they did it again, but this time it's a little bit different. They did it with an Attack of the Clones figures. This is Nadar Veb. Now, he is a Jedi that you see. He's actually kind of like a Padawan who graduates during the Clone Wars. And he's a Mom Calamari. So it's a very different figure. You didn't find him in any stores, and you had to order him. He actually has a display where you have to cut him out. A rarer figure, you can see that the cardboard is a tad thicker. A little bit different. He has his like own episode of the Clone Wars, so you want to check that out if you can find it. But you know, he came in a box like this. He's mailed this way. A very rare figure. I would not open him because he's one of those figures like the General Brick that we saw way earlier in the blog. He's not a figure you're going to find everywhere, so he's different. And that means collectability, and you know, you couldn't go into a store and pick him up, but you know, you're definitely going to know about him because on the package of the clones figures, they had a sticker to mail away for him. So here's the this was one of the figures that you just couldn't believe was not in the first wave of Star Wars figures. It was Han Solo when The Force Awakens came out, and he was very tough to find. Everybody wanted old Han, and I don't even know if I have the Black Series of him. I definitely was trying to find him, so I don't know if I got him or not. But a friend of mine picked him up, and then I paid it forward, and then got my friend a Ray. He was looking for a Ray for his daughter. So, here's a receipt. Breyer's 20-gallon tote. This is probably a 20-gallon tote. This was awesome. This is the 2016 Funko exclusive Lance Strider and Jen from the Dark Crystal. A very interesting toy. There were no Dark Crystal really like action figures. They kind of got canceled. There is, if you Google it, you can see that at one point there were going to be. They were revealed at Toy Fair in like a magazine like booklet, but they never came to light. So this was very cool. I got this for my wife, and then they had a summer exclusive edition. So you could get them at Toys R Us. That was a shared exclusive at Toys R Us, but then you could also get them at different conventions. From Reaction, which is actually, is it Super 7 or is it Funko? I'm sorry if I'm getting that wrong. It's actually Funko and Super 7. They partnered together on this. So that's cool. I don't think I have anybody else from this line. And they really made all the main characters. But the Lance Strider was great. Very cool figure. Wish I had a box for it. So, I'm sure that you have noticed that from time to time I do wear a Philadelphia Phillies hat. Yes, we are outside of Philly. The Phillies announcer died almost, I think it was 11 years ago, maybe to the week or so. The announcer for the Phillies, longtime announcer, Harry Callis, died, and then they had a special tribute statue to him. It's a miniature of the statue that's actually in the ballpark. So I don't think it's a bobblehead, it's just a statue. So that's nice. I got to put that with all the Phillies bobbleheads. And I skipped over that. I did mention them, but I skipped over it. I wasn't going to get into who these Phillies were from 2008. So here's just the box of number 19 of the Star Wars Black Series. This is Kanan Jarrus. I should probably just throw the box out because I have the figure. It's a Jedi from the Rebels, Star Wars Rebels cartoon series. I should probably just throw the box out, but you know, it's one of those weird things. So let's throw it out. Here's the box to my Constable Zuvio action figure. I don't know if you've noticed here on Total Toy Recon, we do a lot of things with Constable Zuvio. This figure was literally rotting on the shelf at Toys R Us's when they were still closing. And I don't think they ever got lower than $9.99, and we were trying to buy as many as possible, but we wouldn't buy them unless they were like $1 a piece. You can still find him from time to time at a Walgreens or a Rite Aid at full price, no less. But there was we have a video on our YouTube channel, and you can actually watch me find one at RetroCon, and a guy had planted it just to see if I could find it, and it was only $5. So of course I had to buy it. I had to buy it at $5. K2SO, box for K2SO. I'm amazed that the figures are not in here, but there's the box of K2SO. Awesome Black Series figure. Just throw those out. Ah! Speak of the devil! Where'd he go? So I do have old Han. So here's number 18 of the Black Series. We'll not open this. So we have, this is the 375 Force Awakens figure. This is the Black Series figure. So I'm surprised they haven't made a Star Wars Vintage Collection figure. And by that is, this is the regular release. He's basic points of articulation, not heavy duty. But if you get a Vintage Collection figure, he can be able to move his arms, his neck, maybe his hands. He usually has more weapons and things. It's a slightly higher price point of figure. This figure is somewhere, depending on the store, somewhere between like $6.99 and $9.99. Even then, they're really kind of gone up. And then a Vintage Collection figure can be $12 to $14, just depending on where it is. But Black Series is usually anywhere from $19 to $25 based on the store. Like you go to GameStop, they charge you a little bit more for some reason. But they always have the new figures. So we got a lot of loose stuff in here, but it's all bagged, so this is going to be fun. And this goes with my thing, as I was saying. Star Wars fans are obsessive and crazy, and this is actually a Burger King Star Wars The Clone Wars like tech deck skateboard with General Grievous on the back. This is the crazy stuff that Star Wars fans pick up and buy. Now this is, now I've had him out of the box, so I should probably put him back. This is my original Sand Trooper from Star Wars The Black Series. It's a very cool figure. It was number 3 in the line. It was Luke in a pilot outfit, R2-D2, Stormtrooper, and Darth Maul. I did have on the episode here, I had a full wave, a full box in the original box that they were shipped in of the original 4 series. And I do have, I think I have Darth Maul. I've had him out of the box, but I also have Darth Maul completely sealed. So I do have 3 Darth Mauls now. Why? You know, it's just insane. But this is a fantastic figure. They really, it's almost perfection, because even some of the later releases aren't as good as this one. They're maybe slightly better with articulation. But Stormtrooper's a Stormtrooper. It's an amazing figure. And I was surprised when they released, G.I. Joe is doing the same thing. They're releasing 6-inch figures now. And they have no Cobra Soldier in that first wave. So there's no bad guy. And they finally released Destro, but he's like the right-hand man to Cobra Commander. So it's like, you have you don't release Darth Vader, you release, you know, Admiral Piet, you know, something like that. It's just weird. So I thought for sure when Hasbro tapped G.I. Joe to do this 6-inch line, that the Cobra Soldier would be the most regular guy. And that way, so just think about it. You can buy like 10 of these, and then you've got an army to fight Luke and R2, and it's weird. Alright, so last thing in the box, as in a box item, is that this is my Star Wars animated 30th anniversary Luke Skywalker. This is a statue, and he's kind of like in a cartoon animation style. This was a gift from my friend Gordon for being in his wedding party. All the groomsmen got different Star Wars busts. I think I got the best one. But fabulous. They did have Luke fighting the trash compactor monster. That was another one that one of my friends got. But he needs to go back out on display, but just haven't had a chance to put him out yet since we moved. And obviously was in this monster box that I've been talking in front of for months. For over a month now. So what we've got in here is a collection of loose figures. So let's do this. Now, why are they loose? I've gotten to a point where I really like taking toy photography photos and having them out for display, putting them into photographs and stuff, and being that we are a toy site, it's always fun to have these things out and about and be able to get to them. A couple of weird things that are in here is, I got the Disney Infinity game. I got all the Star Wars pieces. So here's all the cards. Here's all the little base plates. You have to put this down to play the game. Or you just run around in their sandbox world. They're all upstairs. I think I have almost all the Star Wars characters, which was great. Because I was getting them for like $1.88 at Toys R Us before they went under. They put them all on sale. They stopped making the game. So this is a 2-pack of a Death Trooper and a guy from Rogue One. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. So here is a Rogue One Chirrut figure. These are all of his weapons and everything that he comes with. I have him bagged somewhere because he's been out on display forever, and when I moved, he got bagged up. These two figures are the Rebel Commando Powell and the Imperial Death Trooper, so those are together. Here's another. This is a Guavan like foot soldier. These guys were the guys that Han Solo had to encounter before he got the Falcon back. Here is a Director Cronic from Rogue One. A lot of these are Rogue One figures. One, I opened them up because they were dirt cheap. I mean, I went to a Dollar Tree and they had the entire Rogue One line for $1 a piece. So I really stocked up on Stormtroopers. I think I hit like 5 in a day. So just to see, and they all didn't have them, of course, but I did find them. Here's K2SO. Now this is just a regular release figure. He is getting a vintage collection figure, but as you can see, I have I cut the card out that says their name, maybe a little bio. I put all their weapons in here, everything that they come with, so that I have it for posterity's sake. These figures right here are part of the Rey, which is weird that Rey's not here, the 4-pack of Star Wars The Force Awakens characters. So this is Finn. We have Maz Kanata, who comes with a little box with a lightsaber. So that's those figures. These guys were awesome. So, excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Lots of dust. So, in The Force Awakens, when Finn is going to leave Rey and Han on Maz's planet, he sees two, like, bounty hunter kind of guys. Sindo Ithano, that's him. Very cool looking figure. And then there's this other guy, they're like kind of like space pirates. This is First Mate Qui-Gon. So these little characters. I love these crazy aliens that you don't know who they are, what their backstory is. It's been fleshed out in novels and little short stories. But a character like this, they were teased in all kinds of like behind the scenes video montages. Like, what is that? Who is that? And this guy actually does show up at the end of The Rise of Skywalker. He's one of the pilots that come to the rescue, and he's actually in the scene at the celebration. So you got to see him, but he's real quick. You gotta look. Like, there he is. So just look at that figure. Just the details, the gauntlets. It's got like a pistol attached to the side. Plus he comes with a rifle. It's just a neat figure, and it's just a great world building thing. And you know, why wasn't he in any of the other Star Wars movies? I mean, you don't know how old his alien race species can live. So here is. I was talking about this a couple episodes ago, where if you go to conventions, you can usually find Power of the Force figures. That's the old green line. Now, hopefully everything doesn't fall over. So, on a rare, this is the old Power of the Force line. So you can find a lot of these standard figures, not this one, as I've been told. This is one of the rarer and harder to find figures on our Instagram. People have been posting about it. But you can find basic characters, troopers and such. You can usually find them at toy shows for like $1 a piece, $3 a piece. And then this is a great way to flood your ranks with more troopers. Add more guys, add more ships, add more, here's an Imperial Gunner. This is my second one. I know we have another one on the Death Star. Here we have the TIE Fighter pilot. I've seen a TIE Fighter pilot like 3 times now and all the different ships and things. So it's just another great little world building thing. We've got dice and guns, and then this is the gun that actually comes with this Death Trooper 2-pack, wherever they got to. So this pack right here actually comes with this little giant cannon. Hasbro thinks we want stuff like that. I don't know why they think we want stuff like that. And then the last 3 items in the container here are Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. These are little figures for kids. So we've got a Jawa, we've got Princess Leia, and we've got Han Solo. We've got a bunch of these. These are great for kids. They're like kind of their first Star Wars figures. Really fun to play with. I guess you'd have to wait. I guess it's probably 3 or 4 is probably a better age limit. These are from 2006. Got them at Goodwill. It was a huge bag full of these, so I gave a whole bunch to my nephews, and then I kept a couple for myself that I just thought were fun. You know, you take a Jawa to the beach. It's Han and Leia. You got to keep them. These were almost cake toppers at one point. So, but that's it. So the big find today is that we found the Qui-Gon Jinn and the Opie, and then we found that crazy Mon Calamari Jedi. So those are great. Great figures that I have to put into their boxes, which is again why the setup looks different today, because I'm getting down to the last maybe 4. We may have 3 left. That doesn't mean we're not going to keep doing shows. It's just we may just have to. We're going to have a special He-Man Master of the Universe show for Master of the Universe Day. We're going to have an Alien Day, which there'll still be a box with that day because it's only one thing. But then this was also a nice find to find this again, was the Star Wars animated Luke Skywalker. So please tune in to our website and our Instagram. We've been posting these finds every day. We also have on our site, we've been doing some top 10 lists to kill some time, make you laugh. We just did the 8 crappiest TV toys of all time. That was up. We had a He-Man piece yesterday of crazy Masters of the Universe figures getting ready for Masters of the Universe Day. And then throughout the weekend, we're going to be having alien figures. You're doing posts of different alien figures. So that's another thing you should look out for. You know, helps pass the time. So this is Bob again, Total Toy Recon. Thank you for tuning in. We're probably going to do, well, we're definitely doing an episode tomorrow. Friday, 30th episode. Can't believe it. I'm at 30 episodes already. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow.